Hey folks, Landstryder here, and you're watching episode 50 in season 3 of my Nightmare series. I'm in the Crash Landing mod pack by Iskandar. This pack's available on the Feed the Beast launcher. Be sure to check out Iskandar's website for all things Crash related. Link in the description. So last episode I said that I was going to be done with the base and that I was going to be moving on to some builds and stuff like that. I lied. There's a few more things I want to do around the base. Like one more automation I want to set up. I want to actually have a power battery here. Actually, I already got it started here. I'm just going to add 2 more resident energy cells here. If we take a quick look here, these are actually between the powers. So power's coming up out of the turbine down there. Kind of a weird thing about these turbine rotor bearings is you actually fall through them. I think they're like a half slab or something. But yeah, you can kind of end up falling into it a little bit, but you won't fall in or nothing like that. So it's just kind of weird. Yeah. Anyway, power. So yeah, I'm gonna get power up. I'm gonna get 2 more resident energy cells here. So for a total of 20 million RF storage for the base. So just in case I have to have a long time away, and you know, this should maintain power for quite some time to the main systems, but not the laser drill. Because remember, the laser drill is powered from the other thing. So, and then I want to reconfigure the security here. I've already started on it, and if we look in here, you can see that I've redone the internal security here. So basically, that's because the way I had it set up before, it was pretty much unhackable without a nuke virus or something like that. I can't remember if it's the nuke virus or if it's the stopworm that you need to use. I think it's the nuke virus to just temporarily disable the diagnostic subroutine in order to be able to bypass it and get that terminal hacked. The way I had it set up before, it was just pretty much impossible. Sunshine gave it a try, and he let me know about it. And the fun part of it is you want it to be able to be hacked. I mean, if I didn't want it to be hacked, I could just hide it in a wall where you couldn't reach it, and then you couldn't be able to hack it. But no fun in that. The whole point of it is to set it up and challenge other people to hack you, and then have something set up to possibly deter them after it becomes hacked. Because remember, this thing can have a redstone behavior depending on whether it's hacked or not. So we're going to get into that here in a little bit. But first of all, be sure and this is going to be a long episode because at the end of the automation and stuff, the buildings process, I'm going to go back through and review my Steve's Factory Manager setup. So I'm going to review this setup. I'm going to review the setup in the basement. The quest turn in up there that I have set up, that's just a little one. I'm going to review all of those. The one I'm not going to review today is going to be the Magic Chef out here. I'm not going to review the Magic Chef because in 1.1.3 I'm going to have to completely redo the Magic Chef because the changes that are going to be implemented by Iskandar. He has told me that he's going to be disabling the soybeans, and not totally removing them. They're still going to have quite a few uses, but they're not going to be usable as a meat product anymore. So I will have to be completely redoing that anyway. So I'm going to save that until we update to 1.1.3 before I review the Magic Chef. So yeah, so he's changing the way soybeans are going to work. You're not going to be able to use them for absolutely everything like you were before. I tried to talk him out of it, but he wouldn't hear about it. And then I tried to talk him into a solution that wouldn't break the old systems that used it. But he didn't want to have nothing to do with that too. He says he wants people to have to use the creating life quests, to get the meat to be able to get those top tier foods. So I kind of understand, but I mean I pled my case, but I was turned down. So no big worries. That's going to have to be changed when we update to 1.103, so I'm not going to review that one. But yeah, so stick around. At the end, we're going to review. So the Steve's Factory Manager. So first things first, a automated system for processing ore. So I've been getting all this ore, and if we look in here um, at ore, yeah, we got like 243 emerald, 427 diamonds, wow, all this ore, and ardite, cobalt, tons and tons of coal ore, certus. I mean, just all this ore, and I need to be able to process that. Um, and I don't want to be getting the metals as much. I actually want to be getting 3 different things from the laser. Specifically, I want to be getting more yellowite. I want to be getting more ardite and cobalt. So for that, I'm going to have to make some laser focus. So here we go, laser focus. I already checked it out. I need a orange laser focus. So to do that, I'm going to need to get some orange stained glass, which is, okay, I need, I think, 6 orange stained glass, so I need to make these ceramic dies. So how hard is that? So I need orange dye. I bet I have orange flowers. Maybe? Yeah, here we go. These will convert into orange flowers, the propulsion plant seeds. Actually, I think I only need 2, so if we change those into orange dye, and then we go, what was it? How did it work? Like this? Okay, cool. I only need to do 1. Good. And then I need some glass. I think it was this just regular glass, I believe, is what it takes. That's going to give me oh, 1 more. There we go. That's going to give me 3 stained glass. There we go. I need 6 total because I need to make orange stain. Oops. Oops. I don't know what I made. Quite clear glass, I think. Anyway, so I need the 16 stained glass panels. And that's going to let me make the laser focus orange with some emeralds, some gold nuggets. And I actually want 2 of these. The orange ones are for the ardite. So the next one I need is, you would think it would be yellow for yellorium, but it's not. It's actually lime. So I'm going to need some lime. So lime, I don't know if there's a lime. I think maybe this one. Okay, well I only technically needed the 1 dye last time, so let's see if that's lime. Yeah, that is lime. I guessed right. So need some lime dye with some clay. There we go. We'll need some glass and some, where get that lime dye back out. Lime dye, or lime ceramic. 1, 2 of those. Stained glass, and then get that laser focus ready to go. I'm going to get 2 of these. So I have 6 slots up there in the laser, so I want to focus a little bit on each one of the primary things that I'm trying to get out of it. Now the other color was, what was the other color? Was it purple? That was blue. I'm pretty sure it was blue. Yeah, blue for the cobalt. So that one's easy. That's just a lapis. Lapis and a piece of clay. Ceramic. Grab the glass. There we go. Get 6 of those as well. Make the panels. And then finally I need to make the laser focus. Laser focus blue. 1, 2 of those. Okay, and you can see in my inventory I've got some things here. I've been cooking. I can actually pull that out. Put this other diamond hammer in there because I'm making these diamond hammers with fortune unbreaking for the next thing that I'm going to automate here. I've just been kind of working on some things, getting ready. That's why my inventory is all cluttered up. But now I need to go up to the laser and put these focus in there. So there we go. That should highly increase the likelihood of getting the... oh, that's interesting. Is it not working? Doesn't seem to be moving. Oh, probably most of the power is going into those power cells. So once those fill up, it should start getting power up there again. This, yeah. Go. No, this is the right level. Right level to check the power cells. And yeah, this is still going up. And I have max input of 10,000 and max input of 10,000 on here. This one's going down. Interesting. Not sure why that is. This one's still going up though, right? No, it's going down as well. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. Yeah, well, this is definitely out of power. Rotor speed's like null. What's going on here? This has water in it. What do we got going on here? Steam, water. Is this thing not working? Or if my reactor there is messed up. Yeah, it kinda is. Oh, it's offline. That would be the problem. There we go. Now we're on. Now we're cooking. Probably gonna need to, hopefully those control rods are still inserted the proper amount. What I did is I took the power tap out of this earlier, trying to troubleshoot it. I never filled in this little hole here. Okay, nope. Those are still at the proper insertion, so no big deal there. So that'll spin back up in a little bit here. It'll start creating power and start making that laser work again. And that would be why that'd be why these things are draining. They'll start going back up again here in a second. That one already is. Yeah, they're both already moving back up, so. Okay, no big deal. Just forgot to turn the reactor back on after I did a little work on it earlier. Automation. So yeah, the laser's taken care of. I made the focus. I'm going to focus on getting ardite, cobalt, and more yellorium out of it than anything else. I'll still get all the other materials, but I want to focus on those materials primarily because I can get everything else through just grinding this stuff and dust, and I don't have a problem getting the metals. I can do without the metals. I mean, I've got a ton of them. Got more than I probably need. So now I want to process that stuff that's coming in. So I'm gonna need some autonomous activators. I've already got that recipe in there. I'm gonna need 2 of them. Hopefully those. Let me just check it real quick. Doesn't know how to make pneumatic servos? Okay. Servo. We can teach it that real quick. Oh, well, I want regular glass. Give me that regular glass out of there. Is that regular glass? Yeah, glass. Seared bricks and redstone. Encode that. There we go. It should be able to make that now. Yep. Not a problem. And this thing works so much faster with the new setup. I mean, it just really speeds through the creation of the materials now. So, very fast. There's one of them. And the other one should be done any moment now. Yeah, still, this thing still is a little I mean, still gotta wait on this a little bit. I could probably put a couple more speed upgrades in that, but if I go too high, then it won't be able to receive enough air from the pipe to keep up with it. So 4 is about optimal. I think you can go 5 and still have it keep up. If you go 6, it starts having problems from trying to move too fast. So I'm going to put these autonomous actuators right there. So one of these is going to have these diamond hammers in it, and it's going to be left clicking whatever's directly in front of it. This one right here is instead going to be left clicking, and it's going to have my pickaxe. But before I put the pickaxe in there, I want to do something. I want to get some cobalt, and I've already processed a few blocks of this, and some ardite. Again, I've got a few blocks of it ready to go. And come up here to the good old smelter. I don't know how dust ended up in there, but oh, probably when I was digging underneath it, probably just ended up coming up through the floor and ended up inside there. Not a big deal. Go ahead and put those in there. In a minute, that's going to make vanillium. So while I'm waiting on that, I'll go ahead and make the next two parts of the automation, which is going to be some block placers. Block placers. I'm going to use the open blocks block placer, which is pretty cheap. What am I missing there? Iron? And that one should be craftable. Just have it make 640 iron for me real quick. Break down some blocks. I have tons of blocks of iron, no problem there. And I need another piston. To make the second one, because I need two of these. One for the top and one for the bottom. I believe these things, do they face away from you when you place them? Yeah. That's the way I want it. And perfect. That one's the way I want it. So that leaves me just enough room to expand this molecular assembler, which I want to do one more time. And still not have to move anything major. Let's see here. The next little bit of this is I want a redstone clock. Redstone, how about clock? There it is, right there. Do I have everything in there to make it? I do. This thing puts out a redstone pulse like once a second, I think, something like that. And I'm going to put that right in between there because these things require redstone pulse in order to place a block in front of them. That's what they do. So this will, like every second, if there's a block in there and there's space in front of it, it'll place whatever block it has inside of it. And then I'm going to need some export buses. I have one in there. But what I need to do is actually set up my system to be able to craft these for me. So I'm going to need two of them. And as long as I'm making more than a few things, I can go ahead and auto-craft it. So what I really want is to be able to make a regular export bus, and it should be able to make all those subcomponents, and then turn it into a precision export bus, which is going to allow me to select up to 9 different things for it to export. So let me go ahead and toss those two things in there. Export bus and tell it to craft. Need 2 of those. And then while it's working on building those for me, should be able to work with the vanillium out here now. Yes, I can. So first of all, somewhere in one of these, yeah, it's this one, should have a pickaxe head, a binding. I should make 2 of these, actually. In fact, yeah, let me just make 2 of these while I'm at it. That way I can have one for in the automation and one to keep on in my inventory. Because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to upgrade this one that I have because it already has Fortune 3 on it. So I'm going to use that in the automation. Because it'd take a long time for the for it to actually get to that level. And I don't, and it's easier just to level up one for myself. Did I not pull it out? No. And it's easier just to level up a new one for myself, for my personal use, because what I'm going to be using the pickaxe for is doesn't really matter about the fortune. Oh, and I need two of them. I don't know why I put it away. Two. There we go. Two. Now, hopefully the auto repair will work in the autonomous activator as well. I doubt it, but I can be hopeful. Okay, so manilium. I'm just going to make it all manilium for maximum durability, maximum speed, and all that fun stuff. And then I'm going to go ahead and make me a fresh manilium pickaxe. And I'll just use that as my personal tool from now on. Okay, one more level down. Okay, so we'll say that it's going to be the bottom one? May as well be the bottom one, right? For the pickaxe. Yeah. We'll do the pickaxe on the bottom. We'll do, because I already put the diamonds in the diamond hammer in the top. And speaking of diamond hammer, I need to come up here and put this other book in here. This one definitely finished the first book. And I have one more diamond hammer in my bag here that has Unbreaking of Fortune. I'm going to keep the one that has the Unbreaking Fortune Efficiency 4 on it. That's going to be my personal hammer. Keep hold of that. I'm going to keep 3 in this for now. If I find that it uses those up too fast, I might end up adding more. Then, okay. Oh yeah, let me get my export buses. Got one of them. I wonder why I didn't make the other one. What's the hold up here? Plastic, really? This should have rubber. Yeah, it's got plenty of rubber. Here. Sometimes it'll get caught up on stuff. There's a couple ways to fix that. You can come in here and click one of these things in here, and it'll like kind of it'll kind of like reset it and go, okay, well, and it'll just basically go back through and figure out what it still needs, and then try to start the crafting process again. The other way is to like disassemble or remove a piece of the ME system and put it back. That can be done a couple different ways. Probably what messed it up is I accidentally picked up one of the crafting recipes out of here from inside the interface. But I have actually made a special, right here it is. Right here I have a dark cable. So if my ME system gets messed up or hung up or anything, all I got to do is come in here, flip this switch. It'll kind of like give a quick reset to the whole ME system, and if it was hung up or something, it'll start again. Is it still? Yes, it is still hung up. Plastic. What is wrong? Is it making plastic? No. It knows how to make plastic. I think I screwed it up by hitting the switch this time. So I think it's done. There it is. Yes, it's done. Okay, good, perfect. Okay, so these are going to go here and here. Actually, going to need a couple pieces of regular old cable. I actually have exactly 2 pieces in there, so that works out. And it will just connect right up to the assembler chamber and be attached to the rest of the system through that. So now then, one more thing. I need an interface. Interface, and I'm going to need a way to store some experience because a bunch of experience is going to be coming out of there. Oh good, I have a drum that's empty already. That's perfect. And then one last thing, to collect the experience and the items that come out of there, I'm going to want a vacuum hopper. Vacuum hopper. Perfect. Whoop, give me that back. Vacuum hopper is going to go right here at the bottom because everything's going to just drop down. Experience, everything's just going to drop down. And then, oops, I need my new pickaxe that I just made. Here. Whoa, don't get too close to that, it will hurt you. Apparently, oh yeah, I haven't got a opening down there yet. I do now, but it's way up there. I'm not gonna be too worried about that. I'll do the piping and plumbing for this later. Actually, let's just go ahead and break this one for temporary. And fill back in that hole. This I want to be right there, directly underneath. Okay, and then I'm going to tell it to pump the experience down. I'm going to tell it to pump the items to the right. And then that's where that interface. Dang it. Interface. Get rid of that. That's where the interface is going to sit right here. Which means I need another piece of cable. But it should have had to made a few pieces of extra cable just to make that interface. Yep, there we go. Piece ready to go. And now that's connected to the system as well. That looks pretty good. Looks pretty good for now. Oh, and yeah, it already put the pieces that were in there back in the system. So, what are those called? Those are called factory. There they are, factory blocks. Okay. Yeah, we'll leave that in the corner for now. So, okay, this is set up with the pickaxe. This one's set up with the hammers. Oh, the other hammer should be done now. All I have left to do is tell the export buses what to export. So let's, okay, for the hammers, I need the cobalt and ironite. Cobalt ore and ardite ore. Okay. Take those down here, and then I can go ahead and tell that to do that. And is that working? Is it working? Okay, I'm back, and after a few crashes and some fiddling around, I found out that it is in fact the security system that was preventing it from working, and it was causing it to crash when the fake player attempted to do things. Switched it around to autonomous activators, and that still didn't work because even though the autonomous activators could place within the security system, or the security field, they couldn't break. So what I ended up doing is I moved these down just one layer below the security field. The security field actually ends at this layer right here. So these two autonomous activators are actually within the security field, but these ones that are doing the breaking and the blocks that they are breaking are just outside of it. So that's how I ended up solving that. So yeah, there we go. That's the system. The autonomous activators work pretty good. So this one's set up to take in the cobalt and ardite ore. And just in that short period of time that I was setting this all up and getting it done, I noticed that the laser focus have done a lot to improve the the rate at which that I'm getting those. This one I've only set up to do diamonds so far, but and then it's taking all the XP that it gets from breaking those diamonds and putting it right into this drum. So I'll be able to use that later for some enchanting and levels and stuff. And you can see the lasers right behind me. And I figured as long as I was in this little room down here, right underneath the assembly chamber, I would go ahead and do the upgrade on the assembly chamber. So now it is in fact a 5x5x5. So I ended up making another 12 containment walls, another 30 vents, and 17 CPUs, and 2 more pattern providers for a total of 4 pages inside of here. So I think that's going to be as far as I take the assembly. It took maybe like an hour for the system to just sit here and grind all that stuff out. Thankfully, I had it all automated, so I didn't have to do it pretty much didn't have to do any of that by hand. Okay, so now that that is all done, let's take a look at what I'm going to do to upgrade my security. So, I didn't want to make it impossible. That's just no fun. So I redid this whole security system up here. I tried adding the COFH fake player to this to get that system down there to work. It didn't happen. So we can go ahead and remove those. I want to keep Shane on my security list because he's still living here. But yeah, you can see that I moved the diagnostics subroutine and completely changed up the mount and the network node. So make it interesting if somebody comes to hack it, hopefully. And now the thing about in the current version of the pack, the nuke viruses don't drop. You can't craft them, so there's no way to get them right now. So I talked to Iskandar about that, and he said that in the 1.1.3 version of the server pack, so if you download the server, there's going to be a slightly different loot table so that the nuke viruses and stockworms will go ahead and spawn in chests in the cities and stuff. They won't do it in single player because that would just be kind of a waste of a good slot of loot. But yeah, if you download the server, those will spawn in the server software, so that people playing on multiplayer servers will be able to get access to those. Otherwise, you can end up with a real, basically impossible to hack system. And then if somebody really wants to make it impossible to hack it, like I said, you can always just bury it in the wall where they can't reach it. So, if your name is FunShideX, be sure and skip this next part unless you've already been over to the base and hacked this, or attempted to. So let's take a look at what I'm doing to improve the security. So if we look over here, I have an autonomous activator. And if we look back in there, we can see that there's some redstone conduit back there. So what that's going to do is when somebody hacks my security system, if they manage to get in here and hack it, that autonomous activator is going to release some drones, and those drones are then going to go and pick up some swords and defend the area from any invaders. So let's get back up here to the drone programming station. I'm going to need to make a few drones. I think I have those programmed in here. I'm not sure. Nope, don't have the full drone programmed in there. So I got like 2 of them sitting around right now. If I hang on here, I open my NEI again. If I look in here for drone, get that programmed. I think I've already got the turbine blades should already be programmed, I believe. So go ahead and make me about, let's see, I've got 2, I want 9, maybe. Yeah, I think 9. Maybe 6 would do. I don't wanna make it like crazy. So if I've got to make 4 more, let's see how that works out. Actually, you know what? I don't think I have that programmed. The blades and stuff, I don't think I have those programmed or anything. I can reach this up here. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna have to teach it how to make blades and all that stuff. So I'll be back in a moment after I've taught it how to make blades and the other bits and pieces of the drone. Okay, get them drones made. 2, 3. Give me one more. Just waiting on that circuit. And it should be ready any moment now. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so 4 drones plus the 2 that I have in my inventory that are not currently being used for anything else. These are going to be my attack drones. So for that, I've made up some programs here. A really simple program. It's going to go into an inventory, grab a sword, and then defend an area. So for that, I need to do some GPSing. Whoa. No. Nasty, but those things are funny because sometimes they'll fly into the laser and I'll hear them screaming because they catch on fire. Quite funny. But yeah, I'm going to need to do some GPSing here. So, 1 GPS, let me get all the GPSs. Oh, I can do it all at once. So I think I want them to defend an area that's like maybe out to here. We'll just say out to there. Okay? And then the chest where the swords are going to be kept is right here. So shift and click on that. Now the other corner of the defendable area is going to be down here. It's actually going to be right there. There we go. So that should pretty much defend just about everywhere inside the base. Inside the main base here. And a little bit just on the outside of it, and kind of around the high oven and stuff just a little bit. It's not going to defend this area over here, so like if somebody, they could run away over to there and hide, but there we go. So pretty simple program. So yeah, now all I need to do is, whoops, wrong place. All I need to do is set these areas. So the inventory, again, that's this one, and then you make sure you hit escape. Go ahead and put that in there. That's the same one, and then I'm not going to be able to get up to the chest in time. I'm just going to have to trust that I did it right. So hit escape again, get back to here. Then I want to program this one. It's going to be GPS 1. This one's going to be GPS 2. So this one, if I hit show area, it's going to fill in everywhere with green, I would hope. Let's try that. Show area. Yep. All this area in here. If they're inside the base, it's going to attack them. Okay, so put the first one in there, and I'm going to need a bunch of program pipes. Hopefully I have some of those in here. Yeah, I have the attacks, I have the areas. I'm going to need a few more areas, and then I'm also going to need some of the import from inventory. So let's remember, we get those by doing the plastic, the blue plastic, I believe. We don't have any in here. Okay, so I have. I'll be back after I make these because I'm gonna have to do some fiddling. Okay, I think I've got everything I need to program these 6 drones. So let's go ahead. Yeah, there we go. The export to drone is lit up. So now I can go ahead and program these guys. go, and the final one done. Okay. Now, let's see. They don't probably have. Yeah, a couple of them have some pressure. Now, what I can do is I can just stand on top of this charging station, and it'll charge up all of these guys all at once. Kind of drain the ones that have the higher pressure a little bit until they all kind of stabilize, and then it'll raise them all up at the same rate. If you look inside here, you can see that it's like the needle won't even, the pressure can't keep up. It's sending pressure into it as fast as the pipe will allow it in there, but it's draining it out faster than the pipe can keep up with. So, but eventually these guys will all get a decent amount of pressure in them. So I guess I'm going to stand here for a few seconds, and I'll be back in a moment when these guys are all charged up and ready to go. Okay, they've reached 6 bars of pressure. That should be more than enough to do a few attacks. There's going to be 6 of them, so that's not going to be that's going to be plenty of defensibility. So all I need to do is load these guys into here, and when the security station becomes hacked, they will go ahead and dispense and go about their business. They're going to grab a sword out of here. I'm going to have to make those swords here in a second. And you see I've made this little 1x area so that they can actually travel down into the basement. Did that when I was setting this all up. And if I look down here, you can see it right there where it comes down into the basement. That way they can get into this area. They can then go down through this little hole right here if they need to get down into this area. So if the invaders, try to escape down to here, the drones will chase them down here. So they won't chase them down this far, but that's okay. I think as long as they catch people off surprise, they're gonna probably panic is what I'm. Oh, I had a couple extra pieces in here. Whoops. Hopefully they'll panic and not know what to do and end up getting killed by the drones. So let's set up the swords. So that's the next interesting part. Let's see, I should have a... There it is, my activated division sigil. I want that out. I'm going to get some diamonds. A bunch of those. I'm going to need some sticks. Let me double check this. Because I want to make this sword right here, the etheric sword, which is sticks. Okay, it is just a regular stick. And some iron to actually make those. Wow, I've used up all the iron again. To actually make those swords. I'm going to do some crafting here with the division sigil. So, oh, there's one other thing. Well, actually, I have everything for that because I want to make an extra builder's wand because I want to deliver that to Palindrome on my way over to check out. I'm going to check out Funshine's security system before the end of this episode here. So let's craft these up. So it's going to be 2 diamonds, 2 of those, division sigil. No! Ah, that was very not fun. So what happened there is I accidentally dropped the sticks off the side there. Yeah, and I guess the explosion destroyed the sticks. Yeah. Okay, well here, make new drone or clone. Okay, so I've replaced my division sigil. That was a pain in the butt. Let's try this one more time. Hopefully I don't. I'm gonna do it in the middle this time so that it's a little easier, maybe. I think it's gonna show. That's mine. Builder's wand there. Okay, I think they're gonna show up like right here. Yeah. There we go. That's better. Okay, just got to do that 5 more times, and I'll be back in a minute. And then we'll maybe test it out a little bit. I don't know. Okay, there we go. I've got 6 etheric swords, and I've got the builder's wand for the extra builder's wand for palindrome. So let's go ahead and put the etheric swords in here. And let me grab out something I can test this real quick with. Oop. Button will do. So I put button right there. Oh yeah, there. Oh, dang it. And good thing I tested it because I forgot something in the program. They will sit there. Oh, you're gonna attack me too. Yeah. I forgot to exclude anybody or anything. So what I need to exclude is myself. And so what does that be? That would be text, I think. Yeah. Text and text. Come on, get on there. Text. Come on. No? There we go. Text, and I need another text. So I want to exclude myself, and I want to exclude the drones. So right click that. I want to exclude. Oops. I always do that. Hold the shift down just a little too long. There we go. Landstryder. And then I also want to exclude. I'll be right back. I gotta figure out what to put there for the drone. Okay, I've got these guys reprogrammed. What I did is I did value drone and value Landstryder. So hopefully that's all it takes. I didn't have to change anything else in the program. I've already programmed them with the pieces and stuff. So let's go ahead and throw them in the autonomous activator and give it a whirl. Okay, they went and got their swords. Oh, they're gonna kill the cow. No. Ah. Stop killing the cow. Stop. Oh, now they're gonna kill a horse. Well, I don't know if I like that idea. How can I fix that? I guess I could tell them not to defend this, not to go out that far. That'd be about the best way to do that. Okay, so that's easy to fix. You just gotta change the one coordinate. It's a good thing I'm testing this beforehand. Let me get those drones back out of there. Alright, I'll be back again once I got this fixed up. Okay, got them reprogrammed again. Let's see if they will, play nice now. Let's see here. Put them in there. I already put the swords back. Yes. Okay. Go. Couple of them come out. They get swords. Okay, and they're just chilling out, not attacking each other, not attacking me, but I know if another player came around, they should do their job. Perfect. Alright, let's get them back into their place. And I just want to move that, get rid of that button, just in case they do need to go down through there. I don't want them to hang up on that button. I'm just going to remove that. So there we go. They should be set up. So now it is we got extra defense here at the base. If the place does get hacked, the drones will come. Now this would be interesting because if I leave the door closed, first of all, they have to figure out they have to come in through the elevator. Maybe I should leave the door open. I don't know. If I leave the door closed, then I gotta figure out they gotta come into the elevator. The other problem is, you know what? If I leave the door closed, the drones can't get into this little area right here. Well, that's not a good idea. I don't want that. I don't want that. So I guess I gotta leave the door open now. If I want the drones to be able to come into there. Okay, so gonna head over to. I'm gonna make a quick stop at Palindromes and drop off her Builder's Wand, and then I'm gonna head over to Funshine X's to see if I can't hack his system. See how secure his place is. So I'll be back when I make it to Funshine X, because I don't think Palindrome wants me revealing anything that she may have done that she hasn't put out in recording yet. So be back when I get to Funshine X. Okay, I'm back here at the subway. I figured I'd approach Funshines from the subway, and this will also give me a quick chance to give you a little preview of what I got going on here. This is the store. Actually, this is the diner right here. This is one of Shane's designs. I just basically copied it over to here, and it's going to be part of my little mini mall here. And this right here is the storefront. So this is going to end up. I'm actually going to convert this over to be a butcher shop. And then I still have some more area over here to build. So I'm going to put a couple more shops there, and then there's going to be an area back here for the logistical parts of it. So let me get my hang glider out, and there we go, and head over towards Funshine's place. He's like right here on the edge of the city, so this would be perfect because then as I'm approaching, I'll be able to see how big of a security field is, see how hard is this going to be to get past it. All kinds of mobs over here. Hang on, little baby Enderman there. And a bunch of those mobs see me. Okay, so okay, there we go. We can see the security system. Wow, he's got multiple security systems to cover his entire area. So there's a few of these overlapping. So hopefully I'll be able to get to where I want to go here. Get inside real quick. Okay, so we gotta find the security system. Okay, can't get in. No, this door is locked by 2 security systems. Well, at least this one is. This one only has 1 security system bypass stopping it. So let's see. How would you get in here otherwise? Let's see. Covers all the way to the top. It can't break nothing, right? No, definitely not. Definitely can't break anything. Okay, well I can get in here. Haha. So where is the security station at, though? It's going to be about in the center of someplace. Now, if he buried it in the ground, then I won't be able to get to it. But if it's... Aha! Here we go. There's one. Okay, let's hack it. So I'll get my helmet out. My pneumatic helmet? There it is, pneumatic helmet. Oh. Oh, I like that. I never noticed the little sound effects that it makes. That's really cool. Okay. 2 security upgrades. Okay. Alright, well, I'm going to have to upgrade my helmet, that's for sure. Okay, so where else does he have a security station? So it looks like he's got it pretty well secure. Now, definitely, here we go, right over here. 2 security upgrades. Okay, no problem. He probably did about the same around, all the way around. Okay, well, looks like I'm not hacking it on this episode, but I will be back. We'll be back. Is this over here protected? Yep. Yeah, it's got 1 security upgrade someplace. Someplace there's a security. firing some kind of target back there. Of course. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, that looks like I'm not going to be doing that today. So yeah, I'll have to make a couple security upgrades for my helmet, and then I'll come back and check out how his programs are laid out. Because that's going to be the key to whether or not you can truly hack it. There's something underneath there. You got it pretty well secured, actually, in all honesty. So, yeah, I didn't really bother with a bunch of security upgrades on my helmet yet because there was no reason for it before now, so... Okay, we'll maybe just save my power there and use the this. Actually, go ahead and take the helmet off too now. Let that power down. Put my regular old diamond helmet back on, and I'm going to head back to my base. And now it's time for the SFM review. So I'm going to go over all my SFM. If you're interested in that, stick around. If not, then I'll catch you later. And be sure and leave a like, comment, all the thumbs up stuff if you did, and let me know what you think I could do better otherwise. So kind of like an early exit, but I'm going to be continuing my video just doing a bunch of SFM reviews of the programs here in a second. So I'll see you back at the base. Okay, I'm back here at the base now. So I said I was going to skip this one because I don't want to do that one because I'm going to have to redo it anyway whenever we update. So we're not going to bother with that one. So let's start with this one out here, the Pneumaticraft seed producer. So you can see that I've got 3 separate triggers here. This one right here is just a regular old trigger with an interval of 3 seconds. Now you got to do 3 seconds. The reason I did 3 seconds is because the amount of time that it takes for certain seeds to go ahead and actually plant themselves is a little different. And then if you do 2 seconds, then there's a slight chance that your dispenser will actually break the seed instead of fertilizing it, right as it, because it didn't have a chance to fully plant or something like that. But anyway, 3 seconds is what you need if you want to be compatible with all the seeds and stuff. So it goes right into a condition where it's looking at the block gate. The block gate down there is can look at the area around it. So as you know, it can look at the block in front of it or around it or whatever. Actually, it's looking at the block right in front of it, and it's looking to see if there's a seed there planted. And then I have this on fuzzy detection because I want to detect any kind of seed there, whether, no matter what state it's in, whether it be planted or whatever. So yeah, that's why I use fuzzy detection there. Then if there, basically, if there is one there, it goes and looks at the chest to see if there's any bone meal. If there's bone meal, it goes ahead and takes 1 bone meal from the chest, puts it into the dispenser, and then activates an emitter to make that dispenser work. You can't see the emitter, it's underneath that block right there. So if it doesn't find a seed down there, if it doesn't find anything there, then it's going to go ahead and grab a seed from the chest. It's going to look for basically any seed. Again, we are using the fuzzy detection, so that just finds the first Pneumaticraft seed in there. And it goes ahead and outputs it to the item valve. The item valve's on that side. So what that's going to do is it's going to spit out a seed into that little hole, and it's going to plant itself on the dirt. And then I have to manually change out to netherrack or water, depending on the seed. So these over here, this is where the magic happens, more or less. So there's one more block down in there that makes a difference there. There's the block detector. The block detector, while signal high, so when it detects a seed with a specific meta value, it's only looking for Pneumaticraft seeds. Well, the block detector is only looking for a block with metadata 13. it really don't care about the ID of the block. I'm just looking for metadata 13, and on this one, because not all seeds have the same metadata when they're ripe, some of them have metadata 6, some of them have metadata 13. So this one's looking for 6. So these basically do exactly the same thing. And then if it does find if it does find that the thing that's in front of it has that metadata, the thing being the plant, the pneumaticraft plant, then it's going to go ahead and use the block gate to pick that item up and put it into the chest. So it's going to the block gate will then at that point break it. So I'm using the block gate to detect what's there, and I'm also using the block gate to break the seed in this equation, or in this program. And then it just goes ahead and puts it back in the chest, and basically that's the whole cycle. So there you go, that's the pneumaticraft system right here. So moving on to probably the one I get the most questions about is this one down here. This system down here is well, first of all, it regulates my pressure. So if we look in here, it's pretty straightforward. Trigger flow. This flow is just basically to split so I can do both of these things. But these are just emitters. This one right here goes to back in there somewhere. There's two. Well, you can kind of see it. See the not really. You can well, trust me that there's a what is it? Pressure thingy. This thing right here. There's a kinetic compressor. There is a kinetic compressor right back there, connected to the pipe right underneath this valve right here. And then below that is a regulator, and up there somewhere a little bit is a regulator. The regulator that goes the regulator down below is the one that leads over to those systems over there, and you see the pipe coming up out right there. Then the one on the bottom is the 4.5 regulator. It is directly beside the regulator pipe, and you need to use strong power if you want these to be set correctly. Then output of 12 on a advanced pressure regulator. Output of 12 will give you a result of 4.5 on the other side of the regulator. Then this one right here, the 9, is the one that goes up to my charging station up there. And I didn't want to go over 9 because if you go over 9, then the drones will get kind of hung up on it. It's a known bug, and it's not going to be fixed in the 1.6.4 version of Pneumaticraft, so you just have to kind of deal with it. And then the aerial interface, which is connected to the pipe that the advanced pressure pipe that is not on either side of the regulator, gets a 12.5, which is right here. What I'm doing that is I'm looking at the redstone receiver that is receiving the signal from that valve. That valve puts off a redstone signal based on the pressure that it gives, and what I'm looking for is a pressure between, or a redstone power between 8 and 15, and if it is above 8, it turns off the kinetic compressor, so that it doesn't end up giving me a pressure higher than 12.5. I think it is. Maybe, yeah, around 12 or 12.5-ish. I think 12 actually. But anyway, so that's the pressure part of this. That's my pressure regulator for our advanced pressure system. And I do a similar system for lower pressure systems earlier in the game too. So the next thing is my refiller, the camel pack refiller. This is straightforward. I'm going to go through each one of these. This just splits this one trigger. The camel pack refiller basically just looks in the cyclic assembler. That's what this is. This is a condition. It looks in the cyclic assembler to see if there is a full camel pack in there. If there's a full camel pack in there, it just goes ahead and takes it out of the cyclic assembler and puts it back into my inventory using the aerial interface. You got to be careful about if you select the correct side, which is the down side, is the armor slots, and it'll automatically go into the chest slot when you're using the aerial interface if you tell it to go into the down slot, because it's the only one. It's the only slot that will accept the camel pack. So you don't have to do any special slot, figure out any special slots. So yeah, it just looks in the compressor, takes out the camel pack if there's one in there. If there's not one in there, if it's false, then it goes and looks in my inventory to see if there is an empty camel pack, and it's looking for a precise detection of a damage value of 100, which means a completely empty pack. If it finds a completely empty pack, it just goes ahead and moves it to the cyclic assembler, and that's all there is to that. And then basically, yeah, as soon as it's empty, it takes it, puts it in the cyclic assembler. On the next flow through, it's going to see that there's a full one in the camel pack and move it back into my inventory. So all the time, no matter where I'm at, I have water. So ammo load is the next one. This is it's looking in my inventory. It's searching for what is it looking for? It's looking for empty needle gun magazines. So if I have an empty needle gun magazine in my inventory, it goes ahead and pulls that out of there. It also pulls some arrows and some gunpowder out of the chest that's hidden in the wall someplace. And it just crafts that into a full needle gun ammo. And then puts it right back into my inventory. That's all there is to that ammo load. So no matter where I'm at in the world, as soon as I use up all the all the ammo in a needle gun ammo, it will immediately refill it as soon as I pick it back up off the ground. So the next one, fire pot. So this one's basically checking my inventory to make sure that I have exactly one fire pot. I don't know why there's a damage value there, but I guess that's I don't know why that's there. Oh, must have. Oh yeah, because metadata. Because metadata. So yeah, precise detection is looking for exactly one fire pot with it's the higher power one, and if it doesn't find one, it goes ahead and puts one into my inventory. And the way that it keeps those fire pots is, if we look up here, I have this set up to automatically keep one fire pot on hand in this interface at all times. The ME system is able to create those using the automatic system outside. Let me go take a quick look at that. I'll show you that. So right here I have the ME interface that has the programs that lets it know how to craft those. Puts that stuff in the chest. It moves it all up into the various stages here with the potion stands through all the piping and stuff behind there. Get to there we go. The item ducts back there, they're all programmed basically to move things around based on what goes into here. So whenever it needs fire resistance, it moves 3 water bottles, another ward of magma cream and a redstone into that chest, and then all that stuff gets moved into these potion stands automatically with the item ducts. So back down here, where it gets the water bottles is right up there, which is the crafting recipe for this interface. So I'm using the interface to craft for a crafting recipe. I'm using an interface to hold items, and I'm connecting to it with the Steve's factory manager. So, and then this right up here is another fluid transposer that does nothing but make water bottles when I need them for potions. So that's the fire pot thing. So the next thing is food. So right now it is just keeping a delighted meal in my inventory at all times. Make sure that I have exactly one meal no matter where I'm at all times. So as soon as I eat a meal, it goes ahead and replaces it. So I always have food no matter where I am, and always just one. The way it does that is I actually had to run a cable out here, and you can see that I now have this storage bus connected to this gold chest out here, and it just pulls things out of here. This storage bus is set to only extract. So it's only looking to get that food out of there. For the most part, I don't have to mess with that, but I'm going to have to, like I said, I'm going to have to change that around a little bit whenever 1.1.3 comes out. So that's the food. So yeah, that's pretty much it for all of the automatic processes that keep me refilled. And then I have another real quick, just real simple. All this does is once every 30 seconds, it looks in my inventory to see if I have any junk. And let's see, junk is defined right here. Empty bottles, cobwebs, arrows, gunpowder, any of this is junk that I might accumulate while I'm out looting and exploring and stuff like that. If any of this stuff ends up in my inventory, about once every 30 seconds, the system looks in there and pulls it out and puts it into the ME system, so that I don't have to, come back like every before I'm done exploring. It keeps my inventory clean of any things that I don't necessarily want to have to deal with, and just pulls it out from time to time. So that is the second system. That's my wireless water refiller. Does all kinds of stuff right there in that system. So the final system that I'm gonna, well, actually not the final system. I'm gonna go over real quick just this one. This one's super simple right here. This is the one I use for the creating life quests. Really simple. When I push that button, it takes exactly 10 buckets of the mob essence out of that hardened tank right there, and puts it into the quest delivery thing below it. And it's pretty straightforward. Push the button, delivers from the hardened tank exactly, I think it's, oops, from the hardened tank exactly 10 buckets. Yep. And it goes in directly into the quest delivery system. And that's all there is to that one. That one's really simple. Now this one right here, and I think this is the one that people were asking about. So for the pick mob, we can see that I've got an individual trigger for each one. Each one of these triggers is looking at. Here, let me turn off the camouflage for a second, just make it easier for people to see what's going on here. Okay, so that turn off the camouflage. Okay, so all the above ground cable is got the camouflage. It's the advanced cable clusters with camouflage, so that I can actually send a signal through the cable and camouflage it and do other things. Now these ones right here, these four, yeah, these have the cable camouflage and the redstone receiver. So when I push this button up here, it sends a redstone signal to the top of this redstone receiver, because it goes into the block that it's on, and it actually transmits down into this block. So the top of this would receive a signal, and the bottom of this receive a signal from that button. So if I come back over here and I look at the mob pick thing, we can see that this is looking at this particular redstone receiver, which is the first one on the right over there by the buttons. It's going to look at it like 1 second. I don't think that interval actually means anything when you have it set up this way. But here's the important thing. It has to be side up. Actually, this should be off. West should be off. I don't know why that was on. Might have accidentally clicked it when I opened the thing. So it's only looking at the upside, and it says if it receives any signal on the upside, it's going to go ahead and do its thing. And its thing is the first thing it does is it goes ahead and takes anything that may be in the honest spawner. It just takes it out. Doesn't matter even if it's the same thing. Even if I push the button again and again, it'll continuously take out the whatever's in there. It'll take it out, and it'll put it in the chest. That's the chest that's actually hidden in the wall over there. It'll take it out, put it in that chest somewhere. There's a lot of inventories here. Puts it in the chest. Then the next thing it does is it takes and goes back into that chest, and it pulls out a whitelisted item that has precise detection. So the way I did that is when I set this item, I would do .inv to show what was in my inventory. Now I had the spawner, the Safari Net in my inventory. This is the exact spawner that I wanted for this particular string, and then I would select it. And then it would output it. It would put it back into the spawner at this point. So then whichever one I selected, it puts in the spawner. So when I push this button here, it puts a skeleton in the spawner. Skeleton spawner out there. If I push this button, it puts the village spawner in there. And you can see that the sign updates every time I do that too. So that's just what this final thing is down here for the sign. Here, let me move this one up so we can actually see it. There's only one sign updater on the system. That makes it easy for to find it. And the way I do this, I don't want to update these 3 lines. I only want to update the 4th line. And I'm updating the 4th line with whatever name of the mob that I want to put in the spawner. I want to make sure that I have to make sure these match up, or it'll say, the sign could say something and I could have something else in there. But that's just a matter of the user making sure that they do it right, or the creator making sure that they do it right when they put all this together. All these are the exactly same, as they're just looking at a different button and a different spawner for each one. Kind of out of space there. If I make any more, I'm gonna have to make another group. So next is the mode: grinder, slaughterhouse, spawner, and the witchwater. So each one of these is looking at these 4 buttons. So again, this this right here with the sign updater also has a redstone receiver and camouflage. So again, I'm looking at each individual side of it. Remember, the buttons to the side of it, it sends a signal into the block, and then it receives this receives the signal on that side of it. So for the grinder, I'm looking at the downside. Slaughterhouse, I think I'm looking at the east side. Yeah, the east side. So when it gets that signal on high pulse, basically when I push the button, it first goes and toggles an emitter. So if we look down here, toggle an emitter. And the emitter depends on which one. So like there's a emitter, here, let me open this up. So this one right here has an emitter and a camouflage. So it's going to emit a signal to the grinder to turn it off when it's off. Now, in order to make sure I have the sign saying the right thing, I put in this redstone conditional, which is also going to look at that exact same emitter, and it's going to look at the exact same side and see if there's a signal. If there is a signal, true, it's going to say the grinder's off. Because remember, the grinder is off when it's receiving a signal. It's on when it's not receiving a signal. So when it's not receiving a signal, false, the grinder's on. Same thing with the slaughterhouse and the spawner. Now, what am I doing here? I forget what I'm doing here. Oh, these extra emitters down here at the bottom are what control the drawbridges that close up the room. So I don't really want to spawn villagers, so I'll go ahead and turn it off before it actually spawns anything. And then finally, the witchwater is just an emitter down by is the same emitter. It's actually, I'm using the same emitter for the spawner and the piston for the witchwater. I'm just using 2 different sides of that same emitter. But this one toggles the other side, and this is just I think it's just a straightforward toggle. I don't need to do any sign updates for it because it's pretty obvious when it's open. Then I can just close it. So that's all there is to the mode selection. This one right here, this pressure here is, this system goes all the way down and connects to the pressure chamber. So what I'm doing here is I'm just doing a real simple flow. If it finds anything in the chest that's connected to the interface down there, it's going to take those items. Doesn't matter what items end up in that chest. It's going to take them and send them to the item valve. The item valve is directly under the center of the pressure chamber, pointed up. So it spits those items out into a solid block, and the items move up through that solid block until they find an open space, which happens to be the pressure chamber. The center of the pressure chamber is the first open space. So everything ends up in the center of the pressure chamber. So anything that ends up in the chest from the interface gets pushed into the pressure chamber. And then it just basically, there's no conditional or anything. It looks at that item valve too, because remember, the items valve's inventory is everything in the world around it, all the item entities on the ground in the world, and then, like, I think it's a 5 by 5 by 5 cube. So which includes the center of the pressure chamber. So if it's going to look in there, and here I have a whitelist. So if it finds a PCB inside the pressure chamber, or a capacitor, transistor, turbine blade, block of compressed iron, or any of these types of plastic, it's going to go ahead and pull them out. It's going to send the PCBs to the, where is it at? Somewhere down here. It sends them to the filing cabinet so that they can be turned into etched PCBs, or whatever. What are they called? Etched something? Anyway, that processes that. Then everything else goes back into the system, back into the to the ME interface that's down there. Yeah, ME interface. So there's that. So it's actually pretty simple, and it's much faster than using the standard interface to the pressure chamber. So finally, over here, what is this? I don't even remember what this trigger does. What does this trigger do? Okay, this one right here is the one that controls. Okay, the slaughterhouse down there accumulates pink slime and liquid meat. And this one right here just moves those liquids, input liquids, from the slaughterhouse and moves them down to the two. I have two open blocks tanks down there in the bottom level, or in one of the lower levels, and it just moves those. One of those is for pink slime, and one of those is for liquid meat. That's all that one does, and it does it once. It checks it once a second. Now the camouflage trigger here, I have a separate trigger. I only have it on an interval of 6 because it really doesn't need to do that very much. Now this camouflage right here, this trigger, basically I target every one of the camouflage blocks. So every block that I have in here that can be camouflaged, I have them all targeted for this. I could have used a variable, but I didn't plan on doing a bunch of changes to the system later. So, and basically all the blocks have the same exact camouflage, which is the small cobblestone brick, the same as the rest of the wall around here. This camouflage down here is just to reset the camouflage, and if I need, basically if I need to see what's going on, or if I want to show my viewers how this works, then I can reset the camouflage, and just by connecting it to this string temporarily, just for a second, and it'll reset it. As long as I have this unconnected, as soon as like the 60 seconds are up, you can see that it's recamouflaged itself. So that's everything to know about that s3e's Factory Manager. So there we go. There's a review of the s3e's Factory Manager systems. I hope that cleared anything up. If you still have questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you later.